Hello people of God, you're all welcome once again to my channel. If today is your first time in this channel, you're welcome, and if today is not your first time in this channel, you're welcome back. My name is Brother Friday, and today I want to be talking about this message: marriage and divorce. Marriage and divorce. It's obvious that this topic has become very complicated message, very complicated subject in Christendom and the world as large. The Christianity is divided when it comes to the sermon of marriage and remarriage. In fact, there are too many subjects that Christianity today are finding difficult to come to an agreement, everyone together to agree on the same thing. And this topic, marriage and remarriage, you get married, divorce, and you remarry, has become a very complicated message worldwide. And today I want to dive into the mind of God and see what the Lord actually wants concerning marriage. You see, the term marriage is a coming together, a consummated coming together of a man and a woman from two separate backgrounds and coming together to become one flesh. Now, before diving into what we have, I want us to understand that marriage itself is a sacred bond that we human beings, we might not see how sacred this marriage is, but the moment we walk through that eye, and then we stand before this pastor or whosoever is consummating the marriage, and immediately that marriage is proclaimed husband and wife. That is a contract that is sealed in heaven. We as human beings might not see the spiritual deal, the spiritual contract that is signed before God. Now, before God, that marriage that was joined together by that pastor, by that whatsoever bishop, reverend, whosoever he is, immediately he pronounced the man and the woman husband and wife. The deal is done in heaven. There is a written note that Mr. A married Mr. B. That is how it is in heaven. And if there be any separation, A separated himself or herself from B and married C. Before God, C, the number C or the letter C, the person C, is not acknowledged before God. What heaven knew, what heaven has signed is B. A married B. And before God, C is not known before God. And in fact, before God, C is committing adultery. Let's see the woman that came to draw water in the well that met Jesus. Jesus began to interact with her, and They got to an extent that Jesus Christ said to the woman, "Woman, where is your husband?" And this woman was like, "Okay, I don't have a husband." She's living with a man. In fact, she's married to a man right about that time that Jesus was talking to her. But she said to Jesus, "I have no husband." And Jesus said to her, "Thou hast well said." Because the person you are living with now is not your husband. In fact, the person is not even the first, not the second, I think the fifth man. She was married and has left. She married B and she left B and married C. But Jesus Christ said, "Thou hast well said," because the C that you are married with now is not your husband. B is your husband. Let's read this very particular passage, because not reading it will not get clearer understanding of what the Bible is saying there. In the book of John chapter 4 and verse 16, Jesus said unto her, "Go, call thy husband and come thither." Go, call thy husband and come thither. Go and call him. And the woman answered and said, "I have no husband." The woman said, "I don't have a husband." Jesus said unto her, "Thou hast well said, I have no husband." Your word, "I have no husband," is true. Well said. For thou had 5 husbands. Understand? Thou had 5 husbands. She have gotten married to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the Mr. A that she married to is no longer in existence. Now she has replaced them with 4 other men. And she said, "I have no husband." Imagine. And Jesus said to her, "Thou hast well said." Come on, what are we dragging? What is the bone of contention here? The first person is the husband, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and no husband. Jesus said, "Thou said well, thou hast no husband," even though she's living with a man. And he whom thou hast is not thy husband. The one that you are living with now is not your husband. In that said thou truly. For saying you don't have a husband now, you said truly. In that said thou truly. What is the bone of contention? Jesus here has made it clear that it's true. You are with a man, you're marrying a man now, but they are not your husband. You have had 5, so you don't have a husband. So let's look at Matthew chapter 19 and verse 6. Matthew 19 and verse 6. Wherefore there are no more. Let's read verse 5. And said, "For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife. Shall cleave to his wife, and they twine shall be one flesh." Please, I want to have a question. I want to ask a question. Shall be one flesh. Can you separate yourself from yourself? Think about it. Can you separate yourself from yourself? Look, it is unfortunately that the marriages that we are having today, because it is based on some certain material things, and when those things are not attended to, when those things that the reason why you married her, the reason why she married you, is no longer being attended to, or the man does not reach to the expectation of the woman, or the woman does no longer reach to the expectation of the man, now everybody want to file divorce. But Jesus Christ said, in the beginning it was not so. For he that created them, he created them man and woman. Let's read this whole verses. Let's just read it and see. And the twine shall be one flesh. What happens in this very particular chapter of the scripture is the Pharisees, they came to him, tempting him and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every reason, for whatever reason? You just feel like, okay, I'm not satisfied with her again, I'm no longer compatible with her, I think I should just put her away. So is there, for any reason, just think about any reason you just want to, the reason why you don't really want her again, for just any reason. And he answered and said unto them, you have read that he which made them at the beginning had made them man and female, and said, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twine shall be one flesh. They'll become one flesh, inseparable. Therefore, they are no longer twine, but one flesh. If you can separate yourself from yourself, or if you can take away yourself from yourself, then it is no problem to put away your wife. It is no problem to put away your husband. And so, then the twine shall be one flesh. In verse 6, wherefore they are no more twine, but one flesh. That what therefore God has joined together, what therefore God has joined together, let not man put asunder. That man that is saying, that is divorcing any woman or any man, is putting asunder. And Jesus Christ, his word, he said, let not man put asunder. Don't cause any means for separation. And they said unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? Why did Moses then, if you don't have to put your wife away, why did Moses command that we should put her away? And Jesus, listening to the word of Jesus Christ, then he said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your heart, suffered you to put away your wife. But from the beginning, it was not so. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication. Now, there is except it be for fornication. Now there is an exception. Putting her away. Why? Except it be for fornication, infidelity. Now, those two people are living together, fornicating. And when the word fornication is mentioned, it is because the individual or the two parties are not married. Now you are living together with this woman, you are living together with this girl for years, even for years, as long as you can remember. But you are not married. You have not taken her to the altar of God, and there was an agreement or a proclamation by the servant of God, by the pastor, by the bishop, by whomsoever that is in charge of that marriage, and saying you are now proclaimed husband and wife. As long as there is no proclamation of you are now husband and wife, heaven does not know you as husband and wife. Both of you are fornicating. So in this cause, it does not matter how many children he or she has given to you. She is entitled to divorce you and you are entitled to divorce her. You can just go to your own separate way because you were never married. Heaven has no record of you. And you want to ask, what about unbelievers, people that are not born again, people that are not saved, people that are not Christians? And you want to ask, what about them? Are they also? Yes. When these two people get married, it does not matter how or where they got married. In fact, if they got married in a mosque, marriage is marriage. As long as you have come to an agreement and said, these two are now one, you have paid for her bride price. You paid for her price. You paid it. You paid a bride price. As long as you paid it, and that marriage was consummated, and you two was proclaimed husband and wife, it does not matter if it is in a court. Heaven has signed it. Do you know why? God is the institutor of marriage. And because every human being is not under the same umbrella of a religion, marriage is instituted by God. So if you marry in whatsoever institute you married, as long as that marriage is proclaimed husband and wife, the two are one flesh before God and before man. And in case you file a bill of divorcement, heaven only know the first man. In the book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 16, for the Lord, the God of Israel, said that He hates putting away. He hates putting away. Now, something that God hates, God does not love. If He hates, remember, the Lord said, Esau I hate, but Jacob I love. So the Lord does not love what He hates, and neither will He love His people. Will He want His people to love what He hates? So the only reason that you can put away your husband is you are a believer and your husband is not a believer. You are a believer and your husband is not a believer. In the book of Corinthians chapter 7, Corinthians chapter 7, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 15. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband, else were their children unclean, but now are they holy. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such case, but God has called us to peace. So this is the only way. When you get married and you married this man, and as God may have it, he became saved. If your husband is cool with that you are now saved, and there are things you don't do, there are things now that you there are now beliefs that you now